Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Zeke-ollege football for my week zero reaction. Now, obviously, only four FBS games were played over the course of week zero, but what a slate it was. Out of the four games, three of them coming down to one score contests. Now, obviously, we're going to start off talking about the big time headline: Georgia Tech versus Florida State over in Dublin, Ireland. And I really liked what I saw out of Georgia Tech. They really worked hard to establish the run game, not only with their running back Haynes, but also with Haynes King as well. So that sort of dual slated attack there. And Florida State really didn't have an answer for it. As Coach Brent Key said after the game, just run the ball. And as a former offensive lineman, I am all in favor of that. I love a good, powerful, strong run game. And that's really what the Yellow Jackets portrayed. Now, for Florida State, a lot of questions have been raised. DJ Uyunglele, is he the answer? Can you win with sort of check down Charlie, if you will? They showed a graphic about halftime-ish, where he had not the average airtime yards for completions was negative. So he was completing passes behind the line of scrimmage. That's great if you know, are running away with the game, but in a close game, you need to have a quarterback who has the ability to throw the ball deep or even throw the ball in ahead of the line of scrimmage. So that there's certainly some concerns for the Florida State offense moving forward, but the real key was a lack of possessions. We saw the time control and ball control really play a factor in that game. Only 7 possessions per team. So each and every one just became that little bit more crucial. But a huge upset win for the first one of the season for Georgia Tech. They moved to 1-0 in conference play. Florida State dropping to 0-1 in the conference as well. Let's stick in the ACC for a little bit. SMU versus Nevada. SMU looked pretty bad on offense until the fourth quarter. They were really stagnant. Preston Stone wasn't in a rhythm, but the connection between Preston Stone and RJ Maryland really shone through here in week zero. Now, Nevada's defense looked a lot better than it did last year. That's not saying much, but it looked a lot better than it did last year. And really, I would say the reason that Nevada was up for most of that game was just because SMU kept on shooting themselves in the foot. Penalty after penalty, undisciplined play. There was punching, there was spitting on players. It was really embarrassing if you're Rhett Lashley to see this team that won the American Conference last year moving up to a power conference and really just stinking it up on national television against a team that went 2-10 last year. But things are looking up for Nevada. They showed a little bit more than they did last year, so they could maybe take a game or two away from someone in the Mountain West. Now let's stick with the Mountain West. So first things first, we'll talk about Hawaii. I didn't get a chance to really watch the Hawaii game as much, but the offense from replays, it looked a little stagnant. You want to see, high scoring, moving the ball efficiently downfield. We didn't really see that. We saw a lot of incompletions. We saw the offense really looked out of rhythm. And it's against an FCS opponent in Delaware State. So you're thinking they should be moving the ball. They should be doing better than scoring 35 points. Now, not to say 35 points is not a lot, but for a run and shoot offense, you expect a little bit more. Um, they did have some spark in the special teams game, a punt return touchdown. Braden Shager, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He played well, but again, offense just looked a little bit out of rhythm. And then we're going to finish off talking about New Mexico, a team that is close to my heart because of my New Mexico dynasty. But, you know, if I was to play a sound clip, it would be the "You blew it," because that's what they did. They blew a 17-point fourth quarter lead to Montana State, who's an FCS team. Now, granted, a top tier FCS team and one that was uh, actually favored in this game, but the point still stands. If you expect to be taken seriously, you have to close out games. 17-point lead. And it's not like they didn't have opportunities to. Multiple potential first down passes that could have kept drives alive in the fourth quarter, bled the clock down, prevented this comeback. Multiple third down passes dropped. One thing I will say, Devin Dampier played phenomenally. He had a great game uh, and showed really a lot to look forward to. He was pretty accurate through the air, uh, showed some elusiveness on the ground, could be a real dual threat player, and someone to look out for in the Mountain West. But those were my initial reactions to the Week 0 slate. What are your reactions? Let me know down in the comments section below. Feel free to go follow the Instagram over at Zeke.ollege football. Because on game days, I tend to do short little reaction clips posted up on my story there. So you can see a little bit more extra content, reactions in the moment, rather than sort of reflections like this after the fact. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.